Tensions are high in Naledi ahead of today's by-election. The community say they won't allow voting to happen as they haven't had electricity for months. They've clashed with police. Heidi Giokos is there. Good morning, Heidi. We've been speaking to some of our reporters across some of the voting stations, and it's been relatively calm, but I believe there is some disarray in Naledi. What is going on there?
Most definitely, Nandi. It's a complete opposite picture to what might be happening across the country. Here in Soweto, Naledi, when we arrived, most of the roads leading to this voting station, the Naledi Methodist Church, were blocked by rocks and burning tires. When we got here and we engaged with the community, they told us that voting will not take place here for the by-elections because they have not had electricity for months. According to the community, a transformer exploded and it was never repaired. This is what the community has told us, and because of that they have not had electricity. If you can see behind me, the police is trying to engage with the community to try come to understanding what the actual problem is and why the roads have been blocked, and the actual keys to the gate to the church where the voting is supposed to take place, who has those keys and why it has not been unlocked. So they definitely are trying to engage and understand what the actual problem is, but the community has indicated from the beginning that they do not want voting to take place here. They keep saying that they are suffering, there are too many problems here. It's not just electricity, and as you would know, Nandi, that electricity is a major problem here in Soweto. The historical debt here that is owed to ESCOM is a massive problem, so the community is definitely out and about here today to try and bring their message across. These scenes are nothing new in Soweto. We know that these roads are normally blocked by rocks and burning tires, trying to get service delivery, electricity, running water, and all the other issues that they are trying to deal with. So it's definitely not a calm scene here in Naledi and Soweto.
Heidi, I don't know if you've managed to get a hold of or speak to any of the IEC officials, because, you know, we would then need an obvious explanation as to why they've had these electricity issues. What have the community members also said about the explanation that has been given to them?
So we tried to engage with an IEC official. She, however, indicated to us that she cannot speak on camera, but she did say that they got here early in the morning to unlock the gate, and nobody could give an answer as to who has the keys, and that's all she said. She said voting is, of course, going to be delayed until they come up with a solution to the problem here. But as you can see, many community members have gathered, and many are just not giving an answer as to why exactly the gate is locked. If I can actually just take you to where the voting was supposed to take place in this church, as you can see, the chain and lock is still on. Police did arrive here to try and break off the chain. However, they were unsuccessful. They only broke off one of the locks, as you can see over there. My cameraman Mohammed is showing you. So I don't think things are going to be resolved here. It seems as though the conversation is getting quite tense with the police and the community members. We'll try and listen in after this to understand what exactly the problem is and if there is any kind of solution.
All right, so we know that electricity is a major problem, that they're making some demands, but what are some of the other issues that they need to be dealt with and some of the demands they're making?
So we understand that water remains a very big issue here in Soweto. Housing also remains a very big issue. And yesterday, when the SG of the eNCA was here, it seems as though some of the issues raised were also from the elderly in terms of getting new identity documents and social grants. Those seem to be some of the issues, with the SG of the ANC promising that he will deal with these issues. But it seems as though that message did not trickle down here in Naledi and Soweto. As you can see, community members are extremely angered, Nandi, because the issue of electricity is an ongoing one. One can only imagine how difficult it is to not have electricity for months on end. And I think the biggest issue when we're seeing protests throughout Soweto on a number of occasions, it's mostly got to do with the electricity crisis here. Electricity being cut or transformers not being restored. I'm actually just going to put my mic in here so you can listen into what the problem is.
Campaign of Hawana, they are doing their job. So little as in Pagat, we are taking better steps. Rinka job, finish and clear. I get a Lebanon last stage. Lebanon, we're not gonna use our facilities as in Pagat who vote. If they vote, they can take it somewhere else. It's fine. Maramona lady, Haruto voti sapa. Oh, my mele papa, Harulani ANC, Harulani EFF, because of ballot paper. Was the ANC Iliwan. Haven't get voting stations somewhere else. More Harinam Takas, Risoka Halet, Risoka Muntakasi as we speak right now. Ringola the online exam as we speak now. So how much to repeat if Habaruka again? Luna welcome refer our remorse. We don't have it as a communist. Renali anger. They must come and put ourselves as we speak now. Nahana, but what Pilanga social grants. If we get a certain Honey 1 month, Otamla Reke se Shabo daily. Otamla Reke paraffin, the lights. So we're not taking any remorse. But as a Pagaswana lady. Habala vota kaim dene na lele session monalim takasite. Nereleva la falante.
As you can hear, Nandi, from my understanding, electricity is still a major problem. The fact that they still have to be using paraffin, and also indicating that they will not allow voting to take place here in Naledi. They can use another facility, but this facility will not be used for voting in this section here in Naledi.
Yeah, very angry community member. They're just talking about, as Heidi Giokos said, the fact that they will not allow any voting to take place under any circumstances. Also talking about, some of the issues that are relating to social grants, electricity, and more service delivery problems. That was Heidi Giokos in Naledi.